Welcome back to the Tame Mayhem podcast. I'm George.
Mauro. So George, I was hanging out with my best friend Heather the other day, and we were talking, and just like she told me like having no eyelids is worse than like going straight up blind, and I think I'm inclined to agree with her.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to agree on that one. That sounds terrifying.
I know, not only because you look scary, but just like it's an underrated body part. Like usually whenever somebody says like, oh, the most important piece of like my most important body part is like my hands or my feet or something.
How about my heart?
Oh, that's an organ, that doesn't count. Come on.
Okay.
But like just like a limb. And I feel like a lot of people overlook eyelids.
Eyelids is pretty good. You remember that what is it? That creepy story from like Jeff the Killer?
Jeff the Killer, the creepypasta, yeah. Whenever he cut off his eyelids or something.
Yes.
Yeah, and like just something about that just fucking terrifies me. And
right?
Just the fact that like
I could deal with the story. It's the picture that permanently screwed me.
No, yeah, the story was fucking ass cheeks.
No, for real.
No, yeah, it scared me as a kid, but then I go back and read it and like they really misspelled a lot of words here, but it's fine. And but just the fact like no eyelids.
Right.
Imagine all the dirt and debris your fucking eyelids protect you from.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, yeah, because you can't really like re-lubricate them without eyelids.
Exactly.
So I guess you'll just have to carry eye drops with you all the time, and you'll just have dry ass eyes.
The way the workaround that I was thinking of, like, get some like swimming goggles,
right,
and just fill them up with like solution, and just like keep them on your eyes.
That's a pretty good solution, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, still, like, you would look fucking ridiculous walking around with fucking swimming goggles all the time. But it's just one of those.
But it would help you. I mean, if you have no eyelids, can anyone really blame you?
Yeah, I don't think
you're worried about the social repercussions of that.
Of having no fucking eyelids. Yeah. I guess you're right.
Come on, dude. You just gotta see at this point. Now, I wonder if that would give you just like a blurry vision, though.
Ooh, like just like you're always underwater type vision.
Right.
Ooh. It's just one more reason to not lose your eyelids, dude.
Yeah, I hope I don't bet them at the casino or something.
It's like,
good thing I'm not like selling my eyelids to the black market.
Right. How much do you think an eyelid goes for?
An eyelid probably goes for $50 easy.
Easy? $50? Dude, I think you're underselling it.
Really?
Because I feel like the people that are selling eyelids know its value. And the people that don't have eyelids buying those eyelids.
I feel like you can't get eyelids without the face, though. I feel like if you're on the black market, you can't really just sell eyelids. You're going to probably have to sell some eyes as well.
Some eyes? No, I think because I think like BYOE, bring your own eyes. Like, I got you on the little skin, just like right there.
So what sort of scenario would you want to procure eyelids?
I don't know what kind of accident someone's been in and they lost their eyelids.
Well, I feel like you can just get that from like maybe skin transfusion or something, or a skin graft. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're right, but still.
So like on the black market sense, why would you need to get some eyelids?
All right. I just thought because like I feel like it has to be a certain type of skin, just because like since your eyes are so delicate and so, it has to be just thin enough to where it's not like protruding wide and like you can't move it up or down because those little tiny muscles in there do that. But I also feel like you can just graft it from somewhere else,
right?
But I don't know where. Maybe my ball sack.
You think your balls would go in your eyes? You're willing for that to happen? I guess if it was my last option,
if it came down to it, then yeah, I have extra sack.
It's interesting. You think that's the only place you'd be able to get those skins from?
I mean, where else would you? Because like if
your thigh, that's where they get most of them.
But I mean, like again, is the skin on my thigh isn't it thicker and tougher than the skin on my eyes, on my face?
Well, I feel like if you lost your eyelids, you're gonna want your next ones to be thicker and tougher, right? You got to be thinking ahead.
Upgrade my eyelids.
And also, that's kind of like a consequence for losing your eyelids too. The fuck?
It's a punishment.
Yeah. Now every time you blink, it's kind of like a chore. You have to like plan out your blinks. You have to like have a staring contest for 15 seconds because it like takes so much effort to blink.
Oh no.
Like it's so tiring to do it like rapidly. Like you just have to, like you're really just dragging ass. You're like almost like
it's like
I feel like cats do that.
Yeah, I feel like cats do that
Yeah.
just to like be weird though. 'Cause,
No,
you
but
know,
like
just like
having skin grafted from your thigh for your eyelids would probably be in your best interest. So I don't think you should be complaining because at least you're getting more eyelids, right?
yeah,
I can't believe you're being picky about this.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying. But like what's a that seriously got me thinking. Other than eyelids, what's another fucking like really fucking important body part that we tend to over
Toes, I
toes?
think. You
Really?
lose one and you lose your whole balance,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like if you lose your big toe, you lose basically fucking your ability
I
to
can't
stand on one
believe
foot.
that we rely on like pretty much an inch of bone and muscle.
Yeah,
Can you believe that?
I think I can
We're
sort of believe.
bitches.
Yeah, I can sort of believe that because I mean,
Because now, if you really want to get back at someone, you don't got to kill them or anything. You just gotta like,
take their toe.
right?
Take
And
the
maybe they
toe.
can get a new one, but at least they'll have medical bills.
Yeah, like if you don't ruin their life,
this
you'll ruin
economy.
their. Yeah, in this pandemic, dude, it's a death sentence to go to the hospital right now. I feel like another like really overlooked body part is nails.
Ooh, it would suck to lose those.
If it's because it like imagine because I don't know, have you ever lost a toenail or a fingernail or anything?
No, actually, I've been very lucky.
I have, and it's like it's painful. Don't get me wrong, it's
Oh,
painful,
no.
but it's
Just like,
also
you have to wait so long.
for it to grow back, and like you.
What's the
you
deal
have
with
to-
that?
Yeah, you have to. I had to bandage it up to make sure like nothing got in it. It's just like it's a whole fucking hassle.
Yeah.
And
How long did it take for you to recover?
it didn't take me. It took since like my nails grow super fucking fast. It took me like maybe a week or 2 weeks or so for it to like get up to a point where I didn't have to bandage it up.
That
All the
must have
time.
been the longest 2 weeks of your whole life.
You have no fucking idea because at the time I was in soccer, so like,
Oh no.
and it was on my right foot, and I'm right-footed.
Oh, I
so,
thought it was kind of on your fingers. It's on your.
oh no,
feet.
it was on my.
Okay, so you
foot.
had to sit out for basically like a month.
No, I still had to play, but like I
Ew.
couldn't really shoot the ball. I had to
Yo.
like just pass all the time. I was just like, nope, this hurts too much, and
I can't believe you played on that.
yeah.
Honestly, if you didn't play, I feel like it would have healed faster.
Oh, absolutely. It probably would have taken like a week or so, but it was just. It was probably one of the worst experiences of my life, honestly.
Yeah,
'Cause
I've
it
gotten pretty close with my fingernails because I used to have a bad habit where I would just pick them.
Pick them, yeah.
Ugh, it was disgusting. I hated
Yeah,
it.
I still have
Dude,
that.
because it caused me so much pain.
I know.
Oh,
It's
dude.
something. I
I
don't
got pretty
know.
close to losing a whole nail. but
Really?
Then I always just like got the nail clippers when it got too far.
Right. And like same here. Like I still have that kind of bad habit. Only when I'm like super fucking nervous. Like I have to be like worried for me to start like either biting my nails or like just picking at them or just kind of like doing this. But like it's gone. Have you ever gone to the point whenever you like go so far down that like you start biting your cuticle? And
I've never
stuff?
bitten anything.
You never been? Oh,
No.
so you would just pick at them. You wouldn't
Yeah.
bite them. Oh, I used to bite them.
Yeah,
Like, really
yikes.
bad.
Dude, ew. Would you eat it? You
No, I
ate
would
yourself?
spit- No, I would
You
spit
ate
it out.
yourself out? That's disgusting.
I'm not a fucking animal, George.
No, it sounds like it. You were biting at your own freaking fingers.
I mean,
bro.
that-
You need those.
Yeah, but I mean, like
You need those, right? And they're not even that nutritious.
No, yeah, that's why I didn't eat them. I would just spit them out. Just
Ugh.
like, but
Ew, bro. That's
but
like
some
the
people would
modern
actually do that
cowboy.
though. Some people would actually do that though. Like, have you ever seen? There's a TV show called My Strange Habit. Whenever
Ew.
there was an episode, there was this lady. She would like pull out her hair. And she just had a bad habit of doing that. And,
Okay, that's like, I don't know how that's like the same as biting your nails. Though.
well, because like she would pull out her hair, and whenever you pull out your hair, it has that little bit of fat
oh,
that kind of
even-
holds it,
don't
and she would
even.
eat it.
Ugh,
Yeah,
I wish you didn't tell me that.
I'm sorry.
Oof, this is awful.
Yeah, but she
I
would
feel
do
like
that.
I need to take a minute.
Yeah.
Yo,
Mhm.
you're the worst.
And then there were some people that would actually eat their fingernails, like after they would clip their toenails, they would eat those too.
You're disgusting. Why are you
Me?
Why?
I didn't
Stop
do
it.
that.
You're
I'm just-
telling me this.
I just thought it was what you would be interested to share.
Yo, this is disgusting.
I'm just saying, there's worse shit out there, man.
No, there is. Yeah,
So-
thank you for putting it in perspective for me.
Of course.
But to be
man.
honest,
I'm sorry.
those people are the very minority.
No,
right?
yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, I don't know.
There's
how many-
worse shit everywhere. Imagine you can't know you're the worst, can you? Like how
know
how would
you're
you
the-
know that?
How would I know that?
How would
Like,
you
if
know you're the worst
absolute
at doing something?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because if you're not on the internet, then it's like almost hard to judge.
Yeah, I mean,
Or I guess I don't know. Maybe you go bankrupt.
yeah, if you go bankrupt multiple times, if you get divorced multiple times, if you like,
Yeah.
there's like telltale signs. I feel like if you get fired from every single job, and like they cite the incident as incompetence, underperformance, then that
Could
means
you
you're
imagine,
the fucking
like,
worst.
having to like always improve your performance only to never like actually do it?
Yeah.
The kind of shit you got to go through. Oh
I
no.
know. That's so sad. I mean, I've never
Imagine
been fired,
like
so.
in like 2000 years, there's like some like world leaderboard of everything. And people will always want to see who's in the top 10 and bottom 10 every time.
Right.
They're not going to care about who's in the middle.
Absolutely. But I mean, even if I just break top 50, I'm good.
Because
there's 7 billion people in the world. If I break in with somewhere in the first billion, dude, I'm happy. I'm like, fuck, I'm not the absolute worst, but I'm
right. See, I'm not going to go as far as to say that either of us would be in the top 10 of anything, but I feel like everyone is the worst at something.
Do you? Like,
yeah, imagine if they had like 7 billion categories.
Oh, well, yeah. All right, in that case, what do you think is your worst attribute, I guess, that would
laying concrete?
Laying concrete? That's a good one. I mean,
I'm the worst at laying concrete.
So
well, how would you
actually
feel about that? Like,
have you actually laid concrete?
I couldn't imagine if I got an email from like the United Nations that informed me that I was like officially last in the world at laying concrete. Like, I don't know how I'd feel about that. I feel like
it's a source of
they told me this, so what am I supposed to do with it?
It's
like am I gonna get like executed if I don't like get better at laying concrete? Because if that's the case, I also don't want the next person to potentially die.
Maybe that, yeah, or you're just like, hey guys, I got named the world's worst concrete layer.
But you don't even get in the Guinness Book of World Records for that, do you? Because more likely they would have the world's best concrete layer.
Well, I mean, don't they have like the world's worst smell or whatever?
I don't think you can say the worst concrete layer is equivalent to the worst smell in the world.
I guess you're right. But with that being said, have you ever attempted to lay concrete?
Because that's how I know I'm like.
Oh well, there you go. You can't be it can't be the worst. It's something that you've never attempted. You know, what's something that you've attempted that you're like, I fucking suck at this. This is not for me.
Loving pets.
I'm sorry, George.
I'm definitely the worst at that.
I can't say that yet because I haven't tried it yet, but like loving pets is what you said.
Yeah,
loving pets. No, I definitely feel like there's worse people out there. There are people that beat the shit out of their pets.
That's true.
Keep that in mind.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you're not the worst at that.
I'm the worst at maybe having empathy for pets. No, because then still people beat the shit out of their pets.
Yeah, there's still people who like don't put themselves in their shoes.
Maybe I'm the worst at being worst at something.
Shit.
Dude, that would hit me on a different level too.
Dude, you're playing fucking checkers. I'm playing chess right now, man.
Wait, but then if you're the worst at being the worst at something, that makes you the top of that leaderboard.
Exactly. Exactly.
What? That's what I want to be worst at.
I want to be the worst at being the worst. Because guess what? If I'm the worst at being the worst, that means I'm the fucking best.
Yo, got this shit on lock.
Exactly.
I feel like a genie right now.
Dude, a genie?
No, I feel like a top tier lawyer firm.
No, yeah, you just fucking blew everybody's mind here.
I just finagled my way out of this one.
I know, you were like, he's the worst. He's the fucking worst. No, Your Honor, he's the worst at being the worst.
Objection!
Objection! This Phoenix Wright music shit. What if, you remember the Family Guy episode whenever the Kool-Aid man burst through the courthouse? Like,
no,
you don't remember.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I've seen it in a meme somewhere.
Yeah,
I feel like that's an acceptable answer to anything nowadays.
Yeah, just like no, I've probably seen it somewhere. But
I've seen it in a meme somewhere.
Oh, seen it in a meme. Yeah, absolutely. You can fucking meme all day. You can pull literally anything out from any sort of media and like put a caption over it and have it be just funny enough to kind of catch on. But so speaking of the fucking Kool-Aid man, sorry to come on a little tangent, but I saw that episode recently, and like I started thinking about it. Like, is the Kool-Aid man the Kool-Aid, or is it the jug that sits within?
Or is it the man in a costume? Maybe there's a reason he's called the Kool-Aid Man, right?
But I mean, like,
is he just a man in like a Panzer tank?
Well, that's what I don't know, cause I think I've seen one whenever he like pours himself out.
Ew!
And I think it was just a
dude,
jug.
he's committing suicide.
That's the thing. I don't know if it was an actual like Kool-Aid trademark
or
if it was
in a lot of commercials.
Yeah, because he pours himself out and he like gives them the kids Kool-Aid.
Imagine giving anyone your body fluid. That's disgusting. Why did they advertise that?
I mean, what do you call sex? But like
gross is what I call it.
Ew. Premarital sex. Premarital sex. Can't even say it. It sounded like you came while you were saying that.
No, I wish. It'd be better than, freaking gagging on premarital sex. Ugh. Save the gagging for marriage.
But, I just started. It took me a second. I'm sorry. I'm a little slow. But, so I was thinking about, like, if I take that Kool-Aid that was in the jug and if I pour that Kool-Aid into another container, does it suddenly become sentient? Or is he the jug himself?
I feel like it'd be... See, the route I was trying to go was that if you drink his Kool-Aid, then you kind of are a spawn of the Kool-Aid Man. Think Spider-Man.
Or the blood of Christ.
So imagine you drink his lifeblood and his namesake, and then you obtain his powers.
Okay, so you
burst through walls.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the same principle with humans and blood. Like, we are not our blood, but our blood is us as well. Like, we're kind of one and the same.
I don't know about that, because you can take like a liter or two out of us and you'd still be alive.
And then same with him. Like, if you take a liter or two, he's fine with it. But I feel like
how big is he? What's his volume? You don't know.
Well, he's big enough to crack through a brick wall of any home.
Right, but like if he's small and very dense, he could do that. How big is he?
Well, all right. In the commercials that I've seen, he's about the same height as the dad, assuming that the average American male is 6 feet tall.
I always imagined him way bigger.
Really? How big would you think? Well, I mean, in height, yes, maybe 6 feet tall, but in width,
no, I was thinking wider. He was like 8 feet tall. Oh shit! Yeah, like a Goliath.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You don't want him too big, because if he does break through that wall, he's just going to be a fucking wrecking ball, and he's just going to bring that whole wall down. But he usually leaves a pretty nice imprint,
Right. So he must have these walls pre-built, is what I'm saying.
Like, do you think he scouts out the house that he's about to bust into? Like,
yes.
He keeps tapping him.
I absolutely think that.
You would kind of have to if that was your job.
But at the same time, I feel like if he is bursting into a house, there's no convenient wall to do that from. You know what I mean? Because if he scouts it, he's probably looking for the best way to do it. Right. Listen, Kool-Aid Man, there's no best way to do it. The best way to do it is not at all.
The best way to do it is fucking knock. Like, first of all, you have to
go through the garage.
Yeah, exactly. If you spill Kool-Aid, guess what? It's on the garage. We can just wipe it off. If you get it on the carpet,
spill it into the bowls. Come on, we'll have fruit punch for everyone.
Exactly. Just knock. I will let you in. I was like, if I saw a giant jug of Kool-Aid and I was like, oh.
No, I'd call 911 or animal control or both.
Yeah, which one would you call? First of all, I would call the police, because I was like, dude, a fucking 8 feet tall, fucking 400-pound jug of Kool-Aid.
Do you think he's 400 pounds?
I would say.
Okay, what's the volume or what's the weight of water?
Let me just pull that off the top of my head.
I feel like it's a pound, but that's just not right.
I don't know. I'm gonna do the math later, but
yeah, he's a heavy boy.
He's definitely, because he's big enough to burst through a wall that has maybe studs, sheetrock, and all that other shit.
What kind of glass do you think he's made out of then? Because normal glass, I don't think could handle.
Maybe it has to be a tempered glass.
Really?
Kind of like a.
Maybe it's not glass at all, and it's quartz or diamond.
That if it's diamond, then that explains why, like. How
he's
so dense and why he can burst through that kind of
It's
walls.
why he's cornered the market.
Yeah, because he's bougie.
Because he's the Kool-Aid Man and he's made out of
diamonds. Yeah.
And what flavor do you think he is? Fruit punch, cherry, or strawberry?
Typically I see him in a red flavor.
Right. So which one? I don't think they've ever really confirmed this.
I want to say, just because it was my favorite as a kid, probably watermelon, because that was just the one I drank.
Watermelon. I didn't even think about that one.
That was just the one I drank. I don't even know if the watermelon one that they have is red. I'm 100%.
It's
95% sure. Red. It's usually red. Yeah.
I prefer cherry myself, but I'm
Cherry's
not asking what you prefer. I'm asking what you think he is.
Fuck.
Probably fruit punch, right? Because that's like the most appealing to everyone.
Yeah, I guess. Fuck, I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, fruit punch comes with a little kick.
Yeah, but I mean, just the fact that he's like, first of all, he has to assume that the family inside is talking about their boring drink or whatever the hell, and then
their boring drink.
Their boring drink.
Kool-Aid is not boring. I'm gonna correct you right there.
No, I'm not talking about them, because you know how in the commercials they say, "I wish we had something better than boring old water," and then he bursts through the wall.
I've never really seen the commercials, honestly.
I remember him vividly, because I was always asking, like, did he just assume that they were going to be cool with like $10,000 worth of property damage to the wall as well?
Maybe the Kool-Aid Man is an agent of the NSA, and so while he's planting like security cameras and stuff in homes, they allow him to be able to kind of like scout out homes to be able to make his entrance for Kool-Aid Man. So imagine that he has a bunch of like keywords like water, Kool-Aid, better, and flavor.
Yeah.
And so his like mainframe or whatever alerts him every time that like people use these phrases in the homes that he's like surveilled.
Yeah.
Because I definitely feel like this is a realistic theory.
No, as realistic as it gets. And plus it would explain why he's so good at breaching.
Exactly.
If he was a government agent, he must have some sort of training in breaching like that, like a counter-terrorist operation, but just for boring water.
And he would definitely know which wall to go through.
Yeah, he's like, he has to make sure it's not a weight-bearing wall. So he doesn't collapse the fucking home on top of his intended targets and
that's why he probably does weaken the wall before he comes through. Maybe like tries to like, well, maybe what he does is plants a series of like mini bombs in his silhouette, so that detonates right before he comes through. Because if he's made of diamond, he's gonna survive it anyway. Yeah. And so then he just is able to pop through.
Yeah, it's kind of like have you ever played any of the Arkham games with Batman? No. Well, he has this thing called explosive gel. You like spray it in a pattern and you detonate it. So
explosive gel is so. I feel like that's just cheating. Like, what? How do you make a thing like that?
It's a guy that dreads like a bat. Do you really want to get? We're talking about we're talking about a fucking Kool-Aid jug, a sentient Kool-Aid jug, and you're questioning a billionaire that can kind of afford it. It's kind of realistic.
Listen, the Kool-Aid Man has his ways, and we just described how. So I don't think we're ones to question it. Listen, if you say his name too much, we're gonna summon him. So I'd rather not have this interrupted.
Oh yeah. Heard you were talking shit.
Yeah, I said all the buzzwords earlier, so he's probably like breaching right now.
We're already on his blacklist. He's scouting the home right now. If we say those words in a certain sequence again, he's gonna be like, "My time."
He's my time to shine.
He's gonna burst through the tapestry here.
It's gonna be a perfect silhouette too.
No, yeah, because it always is. That would explain the explosive, the mini charges that he uses. That would explain the perfect silhouette.
Yeah.
Just burst through it perfectly. Fucking.
What's his goal here? What if he encounters a family that's like
that has really diabetes? Like it doesn't really support
honestly.
Sugar. He's just like,
this is a little awkward. Well, maybe he does a little more research than that, right?
Yeah.
Because why would a family be talking about that in the first place?
Maybe they're like using the buzzwords like, I love pouring old water. I fucking don't. I don't like Kool-Aid. Maybe
I don't like flavor.
I don't like flavor. Maybe he just forgot or just didn't listen to the I don't like flavor part, and he was just like, oh, time to shine. And he burst through the wall.
How do you think the Kool-Aid Man gets wasted?
Okay. That's another thing that I wanted to tell you. Like, if you put any sort of liquid into the jug, does it become Kool-Aid?
No, I think it's gonna mix in. I definitely think because it's like if you put anything else in your blood, it's gonna have to mix in, and you're gonna
heroin?
And you're gonna like die. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So like if you put something in his jug, and he's an easy target. So this is why I always pictured him taller, right? So that way people can't really get to him.
He's evolved. Like his species has evolved to grow taller.
He is the last iteration of the Kool-Aid mankind.
Kool-Aid Man.
With no one left to reproduce. So he has evolved to be the optimized Kool-Aid person. So that's why he would be like 8 to 9 feet tall. Yeah. So no one can get access to pretty much what is an open skull.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know anyone who makes Kool-Aid in a jug like that. My mom always used to make it in like some sort of like tall thing. Yeah, closed container.
My mom had the same container.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, if you make it in an open container, if you put it in the fridge, it's just not gonna taste the same. Or if you leave it out, fucking shit's gonna get in it.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Like, if he was so fucking optimized and he was hardened to break through walls and shit, and he has the open skull at the top, why did he just burst through the wall and, like, offer people, like, what essentially his blood? But it'll probably have debris and a bunch of other fucking wall components inside him.
Unless he has, like, saran wrap on, like, the top of his head.
Yeah.
Which is also a possibility, I guess. We've never seen a bird's eye view of the Kool-Aid Man.
It's true.
So it's possible he has saran wrap on it.
Or just, like, some sort of little cover that we don't see.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like there's not any more than saran wrap. Because I feel like if there was an actual legit cover, we would be able to see it by now.
Right.
At the same time, doesn't his liquid go up to his eyebrows? So it's not totally at the top. Because what I'm thinking is, if he has a lot of spillage, that has to make him weaker over time. Because if it's filled to the brim, every time he moves, he's going to spill some Kool-Aid.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's just going to weaken him. Imagine if every time you walked, you lost an ounce of blood.
Like, eventually you would stop walking. And you would stop bursting through walls and shit. So, yeah.
So has he evolved to the point where he's pretty much just, like, keeps an optimized level of, like, life fluid? Because I imagine if he's made of diamond and 8 feet tall anyway, he's pretty high up in the food chain. So maybe we don't even get the Kool-Aid Man at his prime is what I'm saying. Right. Imagine he does have a legit cover on his head and he's filled to the brim. That Kool-Aid Man would probably be unstoppable. Yeah.
Fucking unstoppable. He would single-handedly replace everybody's water sources with Kool-Aid.
Exactly.
Because, fuck, dude. We're lucky he doesn't exist.
The Kool-Aid Man is either an agent of the NSA or the Mafia.
It's true. Either way, he's going to make you drink, and you're going to like it.
Do you think all these Kool-Aid events take place on the East Coast or the West Coast? Where do you think he goes?
Where his area of operation?
Yeah. Do you think there are multiple Kool-Aid men? Let's start with that.
Oh, shit.
Because we kind of entertained the thought that he was the last of his species.
But what if he's not? What if every different flavor is a different Kool-Aid Man?
Oh, I never even thought of that. Because we just listed 4 flavors for, like, the red ones alone. The red ones alone.
But I've definitely seen him in, like, a white form.
I've never seen him in that form. That is creepy. That's not cool. So imagine there are right around at least 10, possibly even 20 Kool-Aid men dispersed around the United States because each one could get, like, 3 states.
Absolutely. Fuck me, dude.
And the Kool-Aid Man is mobile. Yeah. He is way more mobile than any of us.
I've definitely seen him.
Way more than the both of us combined.
I've definitely seen him on a skateboard. So he at least has a skateboard. True. He might have a fucking, like, decked out van that we just don't know about.
How can he skateboard, though? He can only go straight, because imagine if he tilts.
Well, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it. He was either on skateboard. He was either on a skateboard or he was on roller skates. Roller skates would make more sense.
Roller skates is probably more realistic for him.
Yeah, in this scenario, but... Like, again, I've definitely seen different variations of the Kool-Aid Man.
That's just more of a testament to how much he's evolved. Now he can, like, be even faster than he was on foot. Now I can't even outrun him if he sneak approaches me. And there are possibly 20 of these jugs dispersed around
the United States minimum.
The continental United States, possibly even the world.
The world, yeah. Because, I mean, I don't know what other flavors there are in the UK and shit like that.
What other flavors would there be? Tea and crumpets? Tea and crumpets Kool-Aid?
Tea, crumpets, Kool-Aid.
Queen Kool-Aid?
Queen Kool-Aid. We love Kool-Aid here. They probably call it some other dumb shit.
Both Queen Kool-Aids, right? For the Queen of England and the band.
The band. I definitely there has to be like some sort of like different variation in the UK, I feel like. Either they don't call it Kool-Aid, they probably call it something dumb, you know? Like,
what do you think it is?
Oh, fuck.
Cool with a C, cool and aid with an E.
And add a U somewhere in between, and you got yourself Kool-Aid.
Coul.
Like
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna look that up. because I feel like
and if you want to make a Halloween edition, you can go Kool-Aid.
Yeah, Kool-Aid. We're keeping an eye on. We're gonna keep an eye out on that because I don't want. We're gonna get that shit stolen.
Kool-Aid is the spirit of the Kool-Aid man. Actually. Oh my god,
dude. You just gave me a business idea. We're gonna pitch.
We're gonna copyright infringe Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, different, but we could offer that idea. Be like, hey, give us a little compensation for that. And if you just make the color of that Kool-Aid fucking green or something spooky like that.
I'd love to hear your pitch to the Kool-Aid executives. Who are they owned by?
Fucking.
That's a good idea because they're probably owned by someone, right?
No, yeah.
You have a director of Kool-Aid operations, but then it's
usually like fucking
P&G
or fucking Coke owns
Johnson
everything.
Johnson.
Disney owns the other half.
Yeah.
It's like Coke owns one half, Disney owns the other half. So yeah.
Trump probably owns a fourth of it too.
Yeah, that's why.
For shits and giggles.
Right. He doesn't even want it. He's just like, I just bought it.
I don't know which Trump. One of them.
One of them. Okay, George, here's the question. Would you rather have the Kool-Aid man burst through your home right here, right now, through the tapestry, like right here? Just knocks all our shit over. Probably spills Kool-Aid everywhere because he's...
No, yeah, I'd do anything to have the Kool-Aid man here in real life.
So we'd rather have him just fucking cause like maybe $10,000 worth of property damage, or
I don't have Kool-Aid man insurance.
Yeah, it's fucking act of God. Or would you rather have 6ix9ine like Takeshi 6ix9ine's peacefully knock on your door, but like demand to be let in? What would you rather have?
Definitely the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, me too.
100 times over. That's not even a question.
No, absolutely. I'd rather have him in here. Not gonna lie, I don't like.
Yeah, because even if he ruins a lot of shit, at least I know he's gonna go away after like 2 minutes, right? He got out of the houses to burst in. You know, he's got other people to bother.
Pours us a cup. He's like, all right, dips out. And we're just like, thanks for the fucking hole.
What if I don't have a cup? They should just put it in my hand.
Just like, all right.
Oh my god, straight down the hatch.
Down the hatch.
No, dude, I want to sip it first because what if it tastes like piss? You know what I mean? What if there's debris in it, like you said?
Yeah. Well, fuck. It's whatever gets him out of here the fastest. I'll take that bullet. I'll be like,
you wouldn't want him to hang around.
The Kool-Aid man? Fuck
yeah,
no.
Kool-Aid man. Come
on.
I
would rather have
the.
I would rather have the Kool-Aid man than Takeshi. So maybe the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah.
Takashi.
You wouldn't want a Q&A with the Kool-Aid man?
Yeah, I would definitely have a Q&A with him.
We could just ask him all the questions we just asked.
He's like, so, like, what's
Wait, but if he's a government agent, he wouldn't be inclined to tell us any of that.
Assuming he's a government agent.
Dude. Well, okay, but if he's either working for the mafia or the government.
I would say mafia.
He's not an independent agent. There's no way.
Absolutely not. He definitely
There's no way these Kool-Aid men are by themselves because the government would have hunted them down already.
Yeah,
they're definitely working with the government.
Yeah, a joint operation. But so all right, would you rather be known as a fucking bottom barrel bar rapper, or an amazing producer but didn't get as much recognition as you deserve? Like, rappers and like other acclaimed musical artists will still come to you and they'll still pay you, but nobody will use your tag, basically. No one won't acknowledge you.
I imagine that if you're a famous shitty rapper anyway, you're still gonna get paid, and then you have fame too.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is more of a vanity question.
Yeah. So are you vain like that? Are you vain enough to like put yourself as like
the shitty ever? Yeah. You see, it'd be awesome to be the worst at something and then be famous for it, right? Because that's basically what that is.
I guess if you want to see it,
and still make money off of being bad at something, dude. Imagine that.
Like how little fucking
because what you just described was imagine working hard to get no recognition versus being shit at something and getting recognition.
Well, I mean, if you're the best producer ever, are you like you can pretty much, it just comes natural to you. You won't really have to like bust your ass to make a beat. You know, it just comes natural.
Most of the time, you're gonna remember the artist name over the producer.
I guess you're right. Mozart, Beethoven,
that dude went
Wolfgang.
Hard. Oof.
Both Tyler and the fucking musical guy. What about Metro Boomin?
Oh yeah,
Kenny Beats.
Not sure I'm familiar with Kenny Beats.
Kenny Beats, oh, he's fucking.
So you kind of you only got like what, 1 or 2 in before I was like, I don't know the rest.
All right,
I could name a lot more rappers.
Okay, fucking go ahead. What's some of the rappers that you just cannot stand?
cannot stand.
Yeah, just
I
like
don't know,
anything.
6ix9ine.
6ix9ine is one, definitely.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's some out there.
Because listen, if they're famous enough to where I know about them and I don't necessarily listen to all that music, then how can I even say they're the worst at it?
There you go. Damn. It's all.
I'm not putting out bars. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that shit.
That's not true. We crafted a few ones in last week. Were they good?
Yeah.
Probably not, but they're there, you know. Okay, so I would say I'd probably be producer, the best producer, just because
that definitely makes sense.
Just yeah. I don't want to be in the spotlight like that.
It would be awful to be, the worst
recognized
at something,
as,
and know that. But I mean, you can make money off of anything, especially like being the worst at something.
Yeah.
And and it's not even necessarily being the worst at anything, because there are a lot of people who would argue that the people we think are shit are actually not necessarily the best, but good or decent.
Decent, yeah. Because if you're a shitty rapper, you still have to have some monochrome of skill to be even considered a rapper, you know?
Right.
Okay. I understand. Thank you, George. Clearing that up.
Right, I'm definitely not trying to hate on something I can't do.
Yeah. We talked about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, all right. What about, would you rather get lost in the woods? Like, let's say, have you ever been in the backcountry of like,
I mean, I've been hiking, in the mountains before, so, I mean.
Yeah, was it like a set trail though?
Yeah, I mean, there's been pretty much set trails, few like, off trail stuff, but not much.
Okay, so imagine, would you rather get lost in like completely remote woods, like no trails, no anything, no park rangers? Well, there's probably park rangers, but the fact that it's just so massive, it's like the closest.
Getting lost in like Yosemite?
But yeah, would you rather get lost in Yosemite or would you rather get stranded on an island?
Which island?
Ooh, it definitely has to be one that you can survive. Because, all right, assuming that 3 months. 3 months. I'm gonna go ahead and say like you're either lost in the woods for 3 months or you're gonna be stranded on this island for 3 months. And so, assuming that you can find food in both.
If we're gonna pick an island, I think we should switch from Yosemite to maybe something like
somewhere in the Appalachians.
Well, no, maybe like the Amazon.
Yeah, that's a jungle though. That's not really the woods,
I feel like woods and jungles are like cousins.
No, yeah, they're cousins. They're similar, but they're not exact, But
is it not close enough?
From each other? No, because I mean,
I feel like
it's hotter in jungles, and there's more predators.
Only when you get there.
It's takes like an hour.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's good.
Well, you're looking good today, George. I like that sweater. But so what I had in mind, so. I don't know. Have you been outside towards New England, the New England area at all?
I'm not. You think I've been to the coast?
Well, just like, have you ever flown over the coast? I guess
you think I've been in a plane flying over the coast?
I would assume so.
No.
No. Okay. Well, and on my way to Boston, I want to say 3 hours. It's just fucking forest.
Right, because the mountains are there.
Yeah. So, would you rather get lost in that for 3 months, or would you rather get stranded on a tropical island somewhere off the coast of somewhere between Japan and Hawaii? So like somewhere in between there.
Right. So somewhere in the Pacific Ocean.
Somewhere in the Pacific.
I would probably take my chances on the island.
On the island, me too.
Because the forest or the mountains. Actually, if you're saying the mountains, then yeah, that's a lot shittier.
Well, it depends what the time of year, right? Because if you get lost, I feel like if you get lost sometime in the spring,
normally when I plan vacations, I don't plan for getting lost. So,
well, yeah, who does?
So I'm gonna go with island all year round.
Okay, but what I'm getting is like if you get lost. If you set those 3 months in the winter, I feel like it would be worse to get lost in the woods because the snowfall there is insane. Everything is hibernating, it'd be harder to survive because everything's dead, versus getting lost during the springtime in the island wherever like it's monsoon season, like fucking tropical storms are just breezing through there, you know.
But like you're not completely sure if the island is really subject to these monsoons either.
That's true.
I mean, I guess if you say right now it is, then yeah, that's shitty. But like, we don't know where it is.
And it's true. Yeah, if we're just assuming that it's somewhere between Japan and Hawaii. So I feel and I would choose.
If you're somewhere between Japan and Hawaii, though, you are as far as fuck from anyone.
Yeah.
So
Point Nemo, it's like the furthest you can get from anybody in the world. Yeah. If you get to Point Nemo, the closest person is in the International Space Station for only a few hours while they pass by.
Oh, okay. See, okay, that's what I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about on Earth, but I was thinking of there was one astronaut in like some sort of probe that went around the moon, and there was like he was around the moon like on like the dark side, to where he couldn't communicate like with NASA.
Yeah.
For I don't even know how long, but he couldn't communicate with anyone. So if shit went awry, he was fucked.
No, absolutely. What do you do in that situation, dude?
Which I mean, I guess NASA would know shit went awry if he didn't arrive back in a certain amount of time.
Yeah, they'd be
but they wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah,
they wouldn't know what happened.
Fuck. Just send another spaceship.
Like 15 more.
Send like 15 more. Just everybody grapple each other with like grappling hooks and just try to fly back.
They have like one giant net formed.
It's like I got you.
They're gonna like grab the moon, and then like they're gonna hope that they get like everything on it. And they're gonna bring the moon like back to Earth.
Yeah, they're just like we're just gonna reel it in.
Scour the moon.
We're gonna find it. Don't worry, guys.
We're not leaving an American dead up there.
Not on my watch. Oh, he's a Russian? Nah, leave him up there.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Reel the moon back. Just throw it back. But still, like I've seen Castaway. So although
wait, which actor? Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks. So so I've seen the survival on an island. I think I know how to do it.
You've seen Hollywood Survival.
I've seen Hollywood Survival. So, but I mean, I'm gonna base my shit off of him just for the sake of argument.
Because Tom Hanks is
like
my
Bear
dad. Grylls, right?
Yeah. But I would like I saw what he did, and I think I know where he fucked up and where I can do better.
Oh, really? Like not getting a basketball, right?
Not it was a volleyball. I would probably get a basketball because they're tougher. So.
Why not get like a football?
Because I feel like a football is just a weird egg shape, and plus I don't like football.
Baseball?
Baseball's
probably the toughest.
Baseballs are like literally like little balls of metal. So no.
Yeah. Why not? You know it would survive. You don't want your best friend to live? You're a piece of shit.
That's true. Fuck. But I mean, basketball.
No, I'm telling your future. I'm telling your future ball friend that you don't give a shit about its well-being.
Tell him.
I am. That's what I just said.
His name's not going to be Wilson. I'll probably choose a better name.
Yeah, probably like
Tyson.
George. Tyson. Jeez.
George
Mike.
is a better name.
Imagine naming him like Jim.
Jim boy. Ew.
Ugh, we already went over this.
Yeah, I'm not good. I'm good on that. But yeah, like all right, because I have you seen Survivor Man, like with Les, whatever the fuck his name is?
No.
All right, because I saw an episode whenever he picks like the most prime season to jump in this wilderness and try to survive in it.
Yeah, imagine optimized survival.
Yeah, so he doesn't fucking die.
And he has everyone with him.
Pretty much, but
come on, he could go any time of the year if we're being realistic.
Yeah.
He's honestly, if he doesn't go at the worst time, what are you showing us? A vacation?
It's true, but just a camping trip gone awry.
Yeah, come on.
But he went to the Appalachian kind of mountain range that I'm talking about, and he tried to survive. And he said, because the way he does it different than Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls obviously has the whole crew with him. He has like tons of extra food just in case. But Les actually gives it his best shot, and if shit goes sideways, then he knows where to radio out.
So you're telling me Bear Grylls doesn't go all the way like I thought he did?
No, of course not.
Wait. This is hard to come to terms with. Hang on.
No, give
seriously?
You a second. Yeah.
How do you know this?
Like there have been, because he's always with a camera crew. They always have extra food.
Aren't they all?
Yeah, they're all experienced to survive. But
well, Les, doesn't he have a camera crew with him?
Mm-mm.
What is he doing? GoPro?
Mm-hmm. He has his camera.
Well, Bear? I'm sure Bear does the same thing.
I don't think so.
Why? Because I've never watched it, so I legit can't say anything about it.
Well, there was a photo that got leaked. there's a photo that got leaked, and it's him having breakfast with like all of his camera crew.
We don't know what day that was taken. We don't know the context of it. I know I'm defending Bear so hard here, but come on.
You just like piss drinkers, I guess.
I love them.
They're great. But Bless chose supposedly the best time to get lost out there. Like,
yeah, once again, bitch shit.
Yeah, it was optimized. But and even then he had to go hungry a few days just because he was like, fuck, this is terrible. I can't find fucking food. I can't find any water to drink and shit. And like he had to radio out. But
you have to also say this is a planned panic. He knows he can call for help.
Yeah, he tapped out.
Like,
but the fact that he had to tap out, it was pretty insane.
Well, it's very easy to tap out when you know it's just a radio call away.
Yeah.
Right? Because no one wants to deal with a death on camera.
Yeah. But so yeah. Okay, so I guess we agree that tropical island all the way.
Yeah. Which is like no guarantee that's better because what would be on that could kill you? I mean, besides starvation.
Probably the sun. The sun can kill you if you like, assuming you don't know how to build a shelter, and there's no like shade. Like,
well, if you say tropical island, I imagine some trees there too.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, but definitely, if it's not the weather that kills you or dehydration or maybe what if there's like a unknown predator, like there's a colony of panthers or whatever the fuck,
Yeah, or the Third Reich.
And that's where they hid after the.
Yeah, wouldn't that suck if you
ended up on a Nazi island? A Nazi an
island with war criminals.
Fuck. I mean, you and me would die automatically because look at us. But I mean, if we had the right genetics, it'd be another tropical vacation.
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna switch my island. I'm gonna switch my answer to forest.
Forest. You rather deal with grizzlies and shit.
I'd rather die by nature than die by racists.
That's fucking respect, dude. I'd rather die at the hands of a brown bear than a white man,
Yeah, a brown bear than a white man. But, yeah, dude, I couldn't say it better myself. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, but all right. Here's another one. Would you rather? Would you rather be like soaking wet? Or
yes.
Every. Just yes.
You don't even need to say the other one.
Would you always rather be soaking wet or always like bone dry to the point like so ashy, crusty?
Okay,
basically?
So one thing you should know is that I moisturize every day, so I'm always gonna pick wet.
So like even some days are gonna be worse than others. Like some days you're just slightly moist, and other days you're like looks like you just came in from like the shower.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking every day was like you came in from the shower. If I have some days where I'm moist, I'm gonna pick being wet all day, every day.
Okay. Like even all right, but like
imagine I'm gonna have to carry like probably 30 changes of clothes with me, which is fine. You can get a rolling backpack for that.
Yeah.
Rolling luggage.
Yeah. But
at least I'll have something to collect all the wetness. Is
it
water?
It's water. Yeah, it's water. It's not sweat. It's not sweat.
Okay, if it's water, then this is the best way you could go. Because imagine having to shed all over the place.
But imagine
that's pretty disgusting.
But imagine
right? People wouldn't want you around. Well, I guess people don't want you around if you're soaking up everything.
Wet, yeah. Like you sit down.
Wait, but maybe if you have things to like really contain all the wetness and you have changes of clothes with you, then it would be more acceptable because you can't really do anything if you're flaky.
Well, I mean,
what are you gonna do?
Probably try to moisturize.
So you're saying that if I can,
but it's a temporary solution. It's a temporary solution. So like you could put maybe like fucking like a ton of fucking lotion and shit.
How many bottles a day are we talking?
I wouldn't want to say a whole bottle, but maybe a quarter of a bottle
every day.
Every day.
Oh, then I'll go with that.
But still, that's a lot of fucking lotion.
Yeah, but I moisturize every day anyway.
I do too.
I don't care about doing it a little more.
But not a fucking
dude, I wish I could do it more.
No, you got great skin, George.
Yeah.
You got great skin. I'm jealous.
Dick's like an hour.
Dick's like an hour, yeah. But
So what would you be? Soaking wet or crusty?
I want to say, well, I'm already ashy sometimes, depending on the weather. So I know how to like mitigate that. I don't. Whenever, but then again, whenever I'm like soaking wet, like
It would suck to drive. It really would.
It would suck to drive, and you get swamp ass really easy. So
Yeah.
I would probably go crusty.
Ew.
Or
just
flaky.
based on driving alone, you would automatically go crusty.
Yes, just because imagine sitting in a pile of water for 20 minutes in the commute from, for example, from here to Norman. Just imagine sitting in a pile of water.
What if you rig like a bucket to catch everything? Because I feel like you could do that pretty easily.
How would you rig it if you're driving like
okay,
that?
so imagine you sit on a donut and you have a little water reservoir to go like in the donut. So that way you don't actually feel it on your ass. So that way all the water just kind of collects there.
Yeah.
That's dripping from you. And you have seat covers, of course. And that little reservoir goes from your seat into like a little bucket like on your door. So that way it doesn't get in the way of your driving.
Okay. But even then, like imagine a road trip whenever you're not driving. You would have to rig that sort of setup.
That would be easy though, because if you have it like in like this, like the little pouch in your car door at the bottom, you could just take that out and put it anywhere. Because you could just carry it too if you're not driving.
I would still choose crusty because even if
it's just water, it's just water. Yeah. I'm not saying you should drink it either, but like if it's not sweat.
Yeah, it's not sweat. It doesn't smell like sweat. It's just water. But like even then, like if I'm sitting, like let's say if I'm sitting in the back seat and we're driving road tripping, it's like 7 hours. I would still like feel better about having just like a backpack which is full of lotion, as opposed to having to rig my friend's car to fucking accommodate my soaky wet ass all the time. You know?
Okay, so imagine having to moisturize all of your body during a road trip.
Easy.
When you are driving and when you aren't driving, your entire body.
Well, that's
you're
the
wearing
case.
Clothes.
If they know, they're my friends. They obviously know my condition. So if they like, all right, guys, I'm sorry, I can't drive. I have that fucking weird where I'm always crusty. I'll sit in the backseat and just fucking like moisturize myself.
Just lather yourself.
Just lather myself every.
So if you're wet all the time, then wouldn't your friends do the same thing for you in that case? Then you could just carry your bucket.
My bucket.
And you could dump it out, honestly, while they're driving.
This year. Fucking potato, man. I still think it's probably better to.
So how many times per day are you going to lotion?
So I'd say, I said half a bottle of lotion.
You said a quarter.
A quarter, my bad. A quarter every day.
And let's say it takes you like 5 pumps to do your whole body. 5 or 6.
5 or 6. So probably... It'd probably be somewhere between like 4 times a day, right?
4 times a day?
Once in the morning, one at noon, one at like 6 p.m., then one at night.
I feel like there's an afternoon one as well.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean,
5.
Noon. Well, I mean, it goes
morning,
like one morning,
noon, afternoon, evening, night.
That's 5. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. If you're crusty all the time, you got to make it bad for them. Why are you giving them
fine.
leniency? Because the other one is wet all the time.
Still, 5. Yeah, 5 is perfectly
5,
fine.
I feel like 5 is still cutting them some slack, but I'm not going to argue for more. What I am going to point out is that you said the other person has to be wet all the time. And I think that's a little shitty. I think you're being a little biased towards wet people. Or not towards wet people, against wet people.
And maybe I am. And maybe I'm just being biased because I don't want to be soaking wet all the time.
You know, I'm here to stick up for the wet people. And saying that you can't do this.
Yeah, you represent the amphibians.
Yes, I represent all the frogs.
You represent the frogs. You represent the amphibians. I represent the reptiles of the desert. So
one time I confused salamander with salmonella.
I
told my mom, I'm like, you can get salamander from that. And she was like, you can get what? I'm like, salamander, come on.
Isn't that the fish? The salmon.
It's the wet lizard.
It's the wet lizard.
Yeah, it's the really wet lizard.
That's
slimy. Slimy lizard.
Okay, so
I feel like snails are also like slimy snakes.
Slimy snake. Yeah, because I've my friend, she's actually getting a snake this Thursday. It's actually Heather.
It's a dry snail.
Yeah, exactly. Like you would think it'd be slimy or like wet or moist. No, they feel fucking cool.
Wait, snakes?
Yeah, snakes.
Yeah, no, they're dry as fuck.
Yeah,
they
I actually
really
want to
need
get a snake.
Ash up. Ash up. They need to moisturize up.
Yeah, they moisturize up.
Ash up. They are ashy as fuck, dude.
Hell no.
Dude, I swear to God, run your nails across any snake. Do it.
Don't do that.
No, actually. Well, but maybe.
I mean, I don't know. If they're docile, like the one I want. I want this black snake. It's all black.
I'm just asking you to love your snake.
Yeah. Say, show your little pet some love. They're fucking cool, dude. I'm going to get a snake one day.
What are you gonna name it?
All right. Well, the snake.
No. Well, first off, you're not gonna get a snake. Second,
Totally am.
what are you
Just
gonna
because
name
you said no, I'm gonna get one now.
it? Yeah. See, most success is spite. So
Exactly. And why do you think I'm still in college? It's out of spite at this point. Not towards anybody, just towards like the college itself.
right.
It's like I'm not gonna fucking fail. Fuck you. But it's a Mexican. It's a black Mexican king snake, and it's black.
That's nice. You're
Yeah,
gonna
and
use it in the
head's
bedroom?
silky. My God. I'm probably
I
gonna
didn't
keep it
realize, dude, snake and sex toy are different things. Also, if you're confusing snake for your organ, another thing.
totally different things. Yeah, like an underwear snake versus like an actual snake. You know, but I don't know what I would name it. Probably Mateo or something.
Snaky.
Snaky Miss Snake Face.
You can't name it something like you're gonna get attached to.
Hissy.
It has to be kind of like a little fun. I don't really know the lifespan of snakes, but I can't imagine it's longer than dogs.
They live for quite a bit.
You could name a dog James. Imagine naming a snake James. You're weird.
James. That's my snake, James. No. I feel like it has to fit the personality of the snake, you know? Like the pattern that it shows.
Bullshit. That's what I'm saying. You can't get attached to this fucking reptile.
I'm going to get attached because it's my pet. So, all right, here's another one. Would you rather live in, like, the tundra? Like kind of not exactly the North Pole, but kind of near the North Pole? Or would you rather live in Ohio?
What, Ohio's Republican this year, right? So, frozen wasteland.
I'm with you on that one, brother. Everybody's cold. Everybody's dead, you know, dead inside, you know. So, yeah, I'd choose frozen wasteland.
Yeah, Ohio, I think, does have a Democrat governor. So
it's a swing state.
Are turning up.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle lives there. So,
Ohio. Dude, yeah you should live with that.
Yeah, fuck. Just the fact that he lives there makes it all worth it. Like, half the population is just hostile wind, but god damn it, if he's in there, if he's part of that population, yeah, hell yeah.
You know, okay, so you say frozen wasteland, and it got me thinking. Does Maine count?
Well, Maine is a coastal city,
but it gets cold as shit.
It gets cold as shit, but it's not exactly like a frozen wasteland. Like the frozen wasteland would probably
bet, right? I'm just trying to make it so that way I can live in the United States either way.
So consider, all right, if you want to live in the United States, then rural Alaska, because that's a frozen wasteland, and it's still in the United States.
How did I forget about that?
Because nobody fucking cares about Alaska.
Yeah, that's true.
Like 5 people live there.
Okay, so Alaska, because then I'd be subject to United States laws, and I think they're kind of legit. It could be better, but I'd rather be in the U.S. and be in a frozen wasteland as well.
I guess so. Because I had a friend, she was from Alaska.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and she's, you know, she wasn't really a friend, she was more of a classmate, but she told us that a valid excuse to why you were late to school was because there was a moose in your lawn.
Are they aggressive?
I feel like they're not aggressive, but they're territorial.
Right.
So, like, if you fucking show your face and, like...
I imagine they don't react well to cars starting up either.
Exactly. And she said that some days...
Mooses and my uncle.
And she would say, like, some days you would need a snowmobile to get to school, to get anywhere.
What?
So...
It's crazy.
Yeah. But even then, it still sounds fun as fuck. So, yeah, I'd probably choose Frozen Wasteland with you. Fuck Ohio.
Fuck Ohio.
Ever since this coronavirus started, Ohio's been real quiet.
Ohio had those armed protests. Or I think there were armed protests. I know a lot of places had them.
So, yeah,
but like,
a lot of fucking
Ohio has been one of those states that had protests and armed protests. And really, not the move.
Yeah, no. Okay, now that you said that, because I didn't know where those were taking place, so now that you said that, yeah, I'll go
various places.
Double down on Alaska.
Yeah, especially, yeah.
Exactly. It's too fucking cold to go outside. Like, yeah, we can keep... They're always in quarantine because they're always at home, so... I bet Alaska's real safe right now.
Where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Mauro Romero02.
You guys can find me at _George Richard. And be sure to follow the show at Tame Mayhem, where you can see us go live every week.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Love you guys. Bye.